Hey folks, so I got a wonderful mail call just the other day, which is perfect because it was right before Christmas. Actually, today is Christmas Day 2023, and it came from a member of Bushcraft USA. He had written me and said he wanted to send something my direction. Didn't say what it was, and when it came in the mail, I was very excited because this guy is a known knife maker, and if you're a member of Bushcraft USA, you're familiar with the name Caleb Cox. Uh, he makes all different types of knives, forged blades, but he's especially famous, I think, for his trackers, and he's very, very well versed in tracker history. So I was excited because I didn't know what he was sending, and I was kind of crossing my fingers that maybe he was sending a knife my way, and I was unbelievably surprised whenever this showed up. This is a Caleb Cox primitive tracker, and when I first received it, it did not have the scales, the leather, or the knotwork here. It was just a straight blade with everything blued. Um, he did not ask me to do a review on this knife or anything like that. It was just a gift. He knows that I'm a huge fan of trackers, and so he sent this my way. But I'm going to do a review on it because I'm too excited not to. So anyway, let's get into it. All right, folks, let's get right into this. What you see before you is a primitive style tracker design made by Caleb Cox. Caleb, I know, sells his blades on Bushcraft USA. They'll come up for sale every so often and usually are picked up as soon as they come out. This is the first time I ever got to handle one of his knives, and guys, I'm blown away. I love this texturing that's all the way around. To me, it reminds me of like flint knapping, and I just think it is so cool. Now, when I initially got the blade, all this was blued, but this beautiful convex edge was here, and so I have sharpened that, and then also sharpened this. I did a little bit of a touch up right there so that everything is nice and hair popping sharp. I like the all steel. However, to make things more comfortable, and because I didn't want to take a chance of my hand sliding up on this edge, I put a jute cord Turk's head knot all the way around. Basically, I just reverse twisted some jute cord to make it a little bit thicker, sealed that in super glue. Did the same thing on this end, but I did not reverse twist this section of jute cord, but again, sealed with super glue. And on the leather, I went on the net, and supposedly this is a North American tribe's symbol for happy and hunting. And then on the reverse is friendship and camping. So those are the symbols I chose to put on the blade. And the leather, which is a veg tan leather, is just lashed in, as you guys can see right there. All right, as far as specs go, let's level this out. You're looking at about a 4¼ inch long blade, and the handle itself, we're running right at a 4-inch long handle. The blade it's a little bit difficult to tell, but if I just slide this back and forth, the blade is running right just over a 1/4 inch thick, and I believe that Mr. Cox actually hand forges all of his stuff, which that would make sense. It's a forged blade. It's not supposed to have specifics as far as from one blade to the other. It's a little bit more organic that way. And I just love the texture he did on that. It's very solid piece. The balance point is just past that Turk's head knot. You can see that right there. So except for the edge, there's nothing sharp about this finish. It's got a wonderful tactile feel to it, but there's nothing you're going to scrape against and be uncomfortable. There's also no place like to scrape a ferro rod or anything like that, and I don't think that you could notch very easily through this. Maybe like through green bark or something like that, like on a willow. It did not come with a sheath. All right, this is the inside of my Shackleton satchel made by Tough Possum Gear. And what I've done is made a sheath for the primitive tracker. A little strip of leather in the center, Kydex on either side, some nylon fabric with moly, a moly strip here, and then on the opposite side another moly strip. And it fits just perfect. When Caleb wrote me, said, and I told him I'd received it, he told me that to go ahead and modify it as I wanted to. So that's exactly what I'm doing. This will fit on my Numbat chest rig from Helcon Text, or will fit on the satchel here. It would also fit on the outside of my Romanian rucksack because I've got a few pieces of moly webbing set up on that. As it is, fits behind this quite nicely whenever it's turned right side in. I don't think I'd want to use this as a neck knife, and let me show you why. Put the scale down. And we are in ounces right now. A little over 10.5 ounces, 10.65. And I was trying to think of what knife I have to even somewhat compare Caleb's primitive tracker to. And the closest thing that I can come to is a Tops T2. There's just a little over an ounce lighter, but very similar as far as weight goes. And as kind of far as profile goes, they're both really close. The Tops has a little bit more of a draw knife section, and it's got a little bit longer handle. However, it's a 3/16 of an inch thick, whereas the primitive tracker here is just over a 1/4 inch. She's a nice chunk right there. Now, for EDC, I carried the Tops appendix in a Kydex sheath like this, and it worked great. If I were to EDC this knife, I would definitely do the same thing. It would be appendix carry and in a nice Kydex sheath. You could definitely, I would have zero concerns about batoning with this knife. Very comfortable. With the weight being forward like this, a snap cut is definitely not a problem. It's going to hit hard, and that convex should bite in nicely. Let's see if I can get some video of a few little snap cuts with this knife. This will be the first time I've actually tried this. Nice. That'll work. All right. I just grabbed a piece of lumber real quick. Make a few curls. Nice. That'll work. Let's do an edge retention test. You guys are familiar with this. This is the rope I usually use. It's out of natural fibers. It's a little over 1/4 inch thick. I've also got this, which is out of the same fiber, but it's over 1/2 inch thick. And let's try the tops and the Caleb Cox Predator Tracker. See how they do. I already know that the tops has a really good edge retention, so I'm curious to see how Caleb's does as well. I knew the tops was going to do well, and it did. I tried to stay right about there on that test. I'll show the final count up here somewhere for the tops. It was a mix between the two different sizes of ropes, and it finally stopped shaving on that one spot right through here. It's still got a very usable edge, but it's not shaving sharp anymore there. This did wonderful. It's still cutting hair. It's just more pulling than cutting through, and also my arm got tired. But no, this thing did fantastic. It's held its edge beautifully, and it's still shaving sharp through here and through here. Just that little tip right there is grabbing or pulling instead of just snicking right through the hairs. So really awesome heat treat, Caleb. I figured it was going to be, because now I'm going to come clean. First day I got this, I was flipping it around like that, and I dropped it. Yeah. Onto the tile floor. Point first. I was sick. I reached down to grab the knife because, like I said, it fell. Whenever it fell, I let go. And it hit. Actually took a small chip out of the porcelain of the tile. And I went to check the edge, and, well, I did not have to reshape that point at all, which is impressive. I touched it up with the sandpaper, and like I normally do, it came right back. And as it rolled down, it actually dulled this spot here and that spot there just a little bit, where I could kind of see it in the light. Less than 5 minutes of work, it was right back to where you see it now. So, sorry, Caleb, I dropped your knife. But it handled it very well. If your tempering had not been on, this would have chipped, or it would have bent, one of the two. Instead, it dulled a little bit, but it did not deform at all. So really, really good job. And I have full faith in your heat treatment. So, as I said earlier, Caleb sent me this knife as a gift. He didn't ask for a review or anything like that. But I felt the need to, because it is such a wonderful quality knife, especially forged blade. And I really, really appreciate it. It's one I'll be holding on to. So thank you very much, Caleb. And for everybody else out there, I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas day. And Merry Christmas from Bushcraft, Costa Rica, to wherever you are out there in the world. Our neighbor just dropped off some homemade tamales, so I'm going to go heat these up and have those for dinner. Anyway, guys, stay safe, take care, and God bless.